Hello and welcome to the next Doctor Who Series 12 reaction, as we are now on episode 6, coming off the monumental fugitive of the Judoon, which was very eventful, obviously because firstly Captain Jack came back, and also we have a new Doctor with Joe Martin, which is just absolutely insane, and obviously we have to see where that goes in the series, because that could have some pretty massive consequences. It could also do some wonderful things. We'll have to wait and see where that goes. But regardless of that, the one key thing that I have to say is that, well, actually more than one. I mean, firstly, Fugitive of the Judoon, I really enjoyed the 13th Doctor in, which is kind of a first. I mean, I enjoyed parts of her in other episodes, but this one, from start to end, I was really into her character. And also the other thing is that this episode has actually got me really, really hyped to watch the next one. So, for the first time in a long time, I can say that I'm really looking forward to watching Praxeus, which is what we're watching now. So, regardless of whatever consequences that episode could have on the lore in the future, we'll have to wait and see. I think there's a credit to Chris Chibnall in some respects that he's finally gotten me really excited to watch the show again. So, it has to be said. But with all that out the way, let's not muck around anymore. Let's get into Series 12, Episode 6, Praxeus, which I believe is written by Pete McTeague, who did Kablam. I also think this theme has really grown on me lately as well. Like, I always liked it, but I think this is the first time I'm properly, getting into the theme, you know? Crashing spaceship shuttle thing. Didn't Amy Pond say something about a Peruvian band in Amy's Choice? Poncho Boys. Ah, pollution. Whoa, that is scary. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to camp next to all that plastic. Fuck, that is so scary. Like a swarm of birds. Well, I suppose it's a flock, but it looks like a swarm. Jesus Christ. It's like Alfred Hitchcock. The birds. Must be someone he knows that's personal to him. This is very interesting. Hong Kong. Madagascar. I like how they're all separated. It's interesting.
You work out? I do a lot of running. I'm Gabriella.
What if this is some, metaphorical thing about Twitter? That would be hilarious.
You're safe.
Oh!
What's your name?
Oh! Alien. Lots of wind in that scene, obviously. I like this. I like this setup. Bunch of different things in parts of the world that are all connected. And also splitting up the team, that's good. Giving them a little bit of focus. And also putting Yaz and Graham together, which is a pairing that we barely ever see. I mean, we saw a little scene with them in Demons of the Punjab. But to get them again, in, funnily enough, episode 6 of this series, that's a good idea. So, yes, very unique setup for this so far. And quite intriguing, really. So, we've got to see where it goes. And there we go. Sega Nakanola, once again, being great. There's something about dead birds that horrifies me. It's a nasty visual. Especially, blackbirds as well. Something very scary about it. Just seeing the eyes, open like that. And then, with, flocked feathers. Ugh. Oh. That's horrifying. Oh. Oh.
You're welcome.
Oh, Graham. Oh well, just kick the door down. Dialogue is a much more smooth in this. It's way more natural than it usually is in the Chibnall era. Jake! I hope I don't jinx this, but I like that Chibnall is bringing death back to the show as something that can happen. Whoa, that green screen was a bit off. Alright, back to Madagascar. So many birds!
Good job I got one in my backpack. Picked up when I was in Peru.
That's why you smell a dead bird. I thought you changed your shower gel.
That whole flock of birds could literally rip you to shreds. Okay, so that was kind of the exposition section. It's interesting. This is like a rare circumstance where I'm actually feeling a lot of the stakes, which is good. Probably because they've established that people can die in this episode, but also just a natural fear of birds, and also just some very unknown circumstances that are quite strange. It's very sci-fi, so yeah, good so far. Good.
Roaming. I haven't seen it.
What's this music?
What's the matter with you people?
That was weird music. Oh. Alien bacteria.
Get on with me. I don't do emotions. And I'm really not good at sticking with things, you know, commitment.
Oh, the cutting's a bit weird. It's like crossing the line.
I really don't like... He's an astronaut. Do you have any idea how hard it is being married to somebody that impressive? So,
What is this? Yeah, what is that? It's like a Cold War submarine or something. Aliens that attack you because of pollution. Interesting. Is this almost like a lead into Orphan 55? I mean, it's certainly not as, you know, it's not as like in your face yet, but similar sort of thing with plastic and consequences of pollution and global warming, whatever. Oh! Still, those birds scare me. Oh! Oh! It's horrible. Jesus Christ. Did they eat him alive? So the infection was created, Praxeus. Birds. Birds, birds, birds. Oh! Christ. Ah!
Oh my god.
Ah!
Bio reading synced with the TARDIS.
Ah! I mean, they really want kids to have nightmares, don't they?
Indian Ocean.
Ah, the plastic pool.
Gyre of plastic.
Interested to see where this concludes. Really not sure where this is going, honestly. I guess we'll find out. I'm also getting some of the same little niggles that I had with Kablam, which was the fact that it got to a certain point where you could tell it was running out of energy. Like, it's sort of becoming that mid-tier story again, and then not leaving enough time to conclude it satisfyingly, because I remember Kablam had quite a weird conclusion. But you know, maybe it'll end up being good, but I do have my worries, as it's kind of almost losing me because of the plot sort of running out of ideas. But we'll see what happens.
What's happening to me? Like it's spreading. How do I stop it?
Ah!
Yeah, that really doesn't mean anything to me. If I was a betting man and...
Don't know how I feel about this music. Not sure how I feel about that one. Ah, next one seems very interesting. Can you hear me? Yeah. I think we've come back to business as usual. Praxeus. Yeah. Plastic alien thing, pollution. I mean, it was alright, I suppose, but I think most of the good ideas were towards the start, and it had a decent horror aspect to it. But apart from that, it was kind of what you would expect from a Jodie Whittaker episode, you know. Pete McTeague is, in a lot of ways, is a very, you know, he has interesting ideas, like Kablam as well had interesting ideas, and he's also obviously a very politically motivated writer too, but he kind of falls under that Chibnall umbrella of being a little bit too vanilla, and yeah, I don't know, I wasn't particularly won over by Praxeus, unfortunately. I think the first half had some decent stuff in it, but it just sort of, it got to a point where it just sort of became very standard, and it sort of just fell a bit by the wayside. But you know, I didn't dislike it. It was just a bit vanilla, and obviously, you know, very focused on plastic and pollution, which, you know, is something that you come to expect from the series 11 and 12. But yeah, I don't know, it was okay overall, I would say. Maybe I'll have a bit more to say when we get to the review, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not particularly won over by this one, to be completely honest, so considering I don't really have anything else to say, I suppose we'll see you all in the review, and obviously for the reaction, we will see you all next week for Can You Hear Me?